I'm going live on two different places here. I'm going on YouTube here and Instagram live over here. So I'll be looking back and forth. Um, so that's kind of what I'm doing over here. So if you're rewatching this video and you're wondering what the heck is she doing, you might be able to actually see my phone over here. So just trying to get everything adjusted right so that those who come, if they come, it doesn't matter because I'll get it here. Instagram only it records, but it only stays on for 24 hours and then it's deleted. And I did not know that until after I posted yesterday. So I want to make sure that whoever wants to watch this and can't watch it right now live is going to be able to maybe go back to YouTube and watch it on YouTube. So that's kind of what's going on. And I'm not worried about numbers. I'm not worried about, who's watching me live. I'm more concerned about making sure that those who can't watch live will have a platform to actually watch this at a later time, which is why I'm doing YouTube. So, and I'm doing YouTube on my laptop. So that's why the quality is probably really, really bad. And it's going to look really bad once it's uploaded, because I've noticed that my live videos on my laptop are really, really bad quality. On Instagram, it's going to look really good. So it's just all going to be a matter of weirdness. So I said I'd go live at 6. It's almost 6 o'clock. So just trying to set everything up, getting ready to go. And for those of you who are coming here just to hit the dislike button, you don't know what it is. So please don't come here and be a jerk about it. Okay, I'm talking to YouTube because I keep getting people on YouTube that are specifically coming to my channel and disliking everything. And I know who it is. I know who you are, Mandy. Poor Jesse's friend. Jesse's girl. See, I told you I'd break in the song. I told you guys. Yeah, it's still gonna happen. And it wouldn't be a video without my drink. All right, it is 6 o'clock. I don't really care if anybody's watching or not because I'm recording this. And if you want to come on, hi, Haley, how are you? I am talking about my friend's murder trial that she's going through, and I'm recording on both Instagram and YouTube so that YouTube will actually be able to upload it and keep it on, where live on Instagram is only available for 24 hours, which really, really stinks. So I am going to get started because I want to make sure I got like 4 minutes going on while I was setting everything up. But the very first thing I want to say throughout what I'm seeing in the court proceedings is that there's no such thing as a fair trial anymore. And as someone who believes in justice and the justice system, this is very heartbreaking for me to watch the Constitution just literally being ripped to shreds. Okay, not literally, okay, metaphorically, being ripped to shreds right before your very eyes. You're seeing that a woman's life is hanging by a thread, and she has very limited amount of resources and access to get her truth out. And that is because she's on trial for murder. And so this is a state's trial, not her trial, not a defense trial. It's the state's prosecution. So in doing so, the state gets to dictate who can be her witnesses, what can be said, what can be asked. And so it all really gets based around this idea of what the state controls. Yeah. And everyone knows how much I love state control. I hate it. And I think it's truly unfair the way that the system works in these particular cases, because no one is in question of what Donna did. I mean, it is what it is, and she's not denied it. There's proof, we have it all, but it's her defense of why she did it that matters. And yet she can't bring up any of it to actually defend herself. And I'm just really scared for our justice system if this is how it is. I'm sorry, Haley, or whoever's going to be watching me on Instagram Live. My phone goes in and out and focus, and I'm really sorry if I'm blurry. It's not your eyesight, I promise. Okay, so I'm just going to start right off the bat. I already did that with the justice system because I'm so really utterly disturbed by it. I'm really sorry about my phone. I don't know. There we go. Maybe that helped. All right. Well, I have my notes here because I can't take notes in court. I'm not allowed to make any notes. Yesterday, I told you a little bit about the judge's prejudice against those of us who are supporting Donna. She is really hateful. She's really picking us out of the crowd and humiliating us and just giving us a hard time if we look sideways and just move. You're like afraid to move in this courtroom. You can't have any notes or pieces of paper or anything. Like, you can't even have your bag like on the floor next to you. I mean, it's just really kind of crazy. So I came home and I tried to get all my notes together so that I could get my thoughts together so that it would be presented to you accurately. And I'm not going to mention the names of the witnesses, just for the mere fact that I think I want to kind of keep that to a down low right now. So just bear with me on that. I will refer to like a neighbor or the cop. So yesterday's court date, we ended with Derek Matthews' neighbor, the husband, the guy. He was testifying, and then we finished him this morning. But before we did that, we actually had the cop who Donna had been reaching out to on numerous occasions and offering tons of information to prove what Michael Guyon, who is the man who was murdered, what he had done and what he was doing to her and harassing her and threatening her and all the things that he was doing. The cop came on the stand today and verified that he had all this contact with Donna. And what happened is the I sound scary. This sounds like a really bad situation. And so the prosecution took all of that out so that it wouldn't look bad for Guyon and it would look bad for Donna. So I'm going to look at my notes here because what happened is that she was contacting this cop via email, numerous emails saying, I'm scared for my life. He won't leave me alone. He's breaking the restraining order that I have on him, not only in Kenosha, but in Hawaii, where she was at this time. And he's posting explicit pictures of me on Facebook without my consent. He's harassing my family. And they asked, well, is that against the law? And the cop said, absolutely, it's against the law. How do you enforce it? He says, well, it kind of depends on, the situation. If he's breaking a restraining order, he would go to jail. The problem was he never went to jail. After all of this situation, after the cop had been emailed 8 times, had much communication with Donna, the cop did not follow through. What he did instead is he actually called Michael Guyon. He did not actually have a physical conversation with him. face to face or on the telephone. So he never actually even spoke to Guyan. Okay, so right off the bat, something's not right here. So what he did is he left a message for Michael Guyan saying, hey, you're breaking restraining order, stop harassing her, stop posting pictures of her naked on Facebook. And there was no response, and that was it, you guys. That was it. That was the extent of what happened after Donna had been telling this cop over and over again, he's threatening my life. He is threatening my family. He's threatening to kill me. He's blackmailing me. He is following me. He's breaking the law. And nothing was done. Justice was not served for Donna a long time ago when Donna tried desperately. She, even in the email, she says, I will give you my cell phone. I have everything documented here of all the emails, all the text messages that he is threatening my family. I will give you anything you need to arrest this guy. They didn't take her phone. They didn't even bother to deal with it. Again, as I said yesterday and throughout the last 2 years that I have been following this, because Donna's a friend of mine, for those of you who don't know, she's a very good friend of mine and helped me through a physical, mental, abusive relationship that I was in. I know Donna. She's a wonderful, beautiful, amazing, loving, generous, thoughtful, compassionate woman. And she wanted to do the right thing. She was trying so hard. She moved to New Orleans. She moved to Colorado. She moved. Then when that didn't work, she moved to Indiana. Let me see. How many places did she move to try to get away from this guy? Michigan, Indiana, New Orleans, Colorado, and then finally Hawaii. He broke restraining order after restraining order after restraining order and never once was arrested here, but only in Hawaii. And at this time, they had decided that, well, it's Hawaii's jurisdiction. We're not going to deal with it because she's there and he's here. So why bother? Well, he went to Hawaii. He followed her to Hawaii. So something's not right. And she knew he was coming because he went to every other place that she had been. Okay. So that is my biggest issue. Now, the problem with this in court today was that he tells this story, the cop tells this story, right, about how, all the emails, how he believed that she was being threatened. And his answer to her was, just let it go. Just don't pay attention to him. Just, it'll die out soon. Now, the other thing in Donna's emails were about how Guyan had done this to his ex-girlfriend and had broke restraining orders against her as well. However, that could not be brought up because it wasn't relevant to the case. Okay, now, as I'm talking to other people, they're telling me, well, it's not relevant to Donna's case, so they can't talk about it, but it is relevant. This shows a pattern of what this guy was doing and how he harassed women. And yet, I don't understand how the police are like, that's not a big deal. This guy has a history. This guy has a pattern, and no one did anything about it. It's no wonder Donna felt so helpless. And that's what she has been telling me for the last 2 years. I was helpless. No one would help me. She went to women's shelters. She went to the detectives here in Kenosha. She went to the detectives in Hawaii. She was talking with everybody, and everybody's answer was, he'll just stop. How? I don't understand that mentality. I really think truly and honestly, this system of abuse by men, harassment, stalking, all of that needs to be taken seriously. It needs to be resolved. And now I'm getting on a platform, and that's not really what I want to do, but it's how I feel passionate about, because Donna was pushed to the brink of madness. this guy's following her all over the country. He's threatening to kill her daughters. He's threatening to kill her brothers. He's threatening to put all of this stuff. He had been contacting her co-workers, sending them naked pictures of her, and then putting pictures of her on Facebook naked and saying, if you don't come back here and be with me, I'm going to do more. I'm going to keep posting this stuff. Now, the defense is trying to say, you know what, you're trying to make this, and the prosecution is trying to do this. They're trying to make it sound like Donna was mad about Facebook. And that's not what it was. But that is what they're trying to focus on, rather than the reality of she was being harassed and tormented and stalked, and the police didn't do anything about it. So that is the reality of that. Now, what I really got upset about was the defense not asking, why wasn't he arrested? Why did you call Guyan instead of going to his home and confronting him? And then when he broke the law, after you had already continued, he had left a message for Guyan, and then Guyan continued to break the restraining order. Why wasn't he arrested? Okay. It's infuriating, but nobody even asked that question. The defense did not ask that question. And when I got a little perturbed about it, at a break, I went to the counsel for Donna and I asked, why did you not ask this question? You know what the answer was? Can anybody tell me what the answer was? We can't ask that question. Can't ask that question. I think it's a pretty relevant question that needs to be asked for the jury to make an educated decision about what was really going on. But the prosecution won't allow that question to be asked, and they determined that in the pretrial. I need to take a drink real quick. Okay. Now I'm going to go back because I'm done with that cop. I'm going to talk about Derek Matthews' neighbor, who lived downstairs from him. And Derek had been confiding to this guy about Donna's situation with Michael Guyan. And the neighbor, I guess I'm just going to have to call him the neighbor just continued to kind of like not really take him seriously at first, but once he realized this situation was getting serious, he was like, dude, you need to stop, get out of this, do something. We need to go to the cops or something. And Derek told him, no, stay out of it. Now, this neighbor was telling Derek, don't believe your sister. It's a bunch of crap because I'm seeing on Facebook all these pictures. Well, yeah, go figure. You would make an assumption that way, but here they are taking this guy's opinion of Donna, who he knows nothing about, and their relationship, which he knows nothing about. He never met Michael Guyan. He never really knew Donna, but yet he can come up with all these opinions and about her, and suddenly they're legitimate and they're accessible in court, and the jury gets to hear his opinions. But when the defense comes in and says, well, if this were happening to you, what would you do? Oh, speculation. Oh, that objection. And it happens. They got away with it. So one of the questions that I had that I really wish I could have asked is, dude, why didn't you go to the police? You could have prevented this whole scenario right here. Like, really? I'm serious. I don't understand. If you're so concerned and you think something's not right, what do you do? If somebody's telling you, I'm going to murder this guy, I need a gun, I need to figure out how I'm going to murder this guy because he won't leave my sister alone, I got to figure this out, and you start thinking, that's funny at first, right? Because you don't know. People say that stuff all the time. Oh, I'm so mad I could kill him, right? We all do it. And that's what this guy thought. And that's what a lot of people were thinking who were involved in this situation. Like, everybody says that stuff. So who takes it real serious? But when you start talking about, I need a gun, where can I find a gun? I got a gun, and I really need to do this. And you're confiding in someone about it. Okay. That's the scary part. There were so many people that knew about this that were, Donna was talking and asking, and Derek was talking and asking. This thing could have been prevented so long ago. It could have been prevented by the cops if they had done their job. Kenosha Police Department. Whoa, you really dropped the ball on this one. Kenosha Police Department. I'm a big supporter of police, but I've had my dealings with harassment with police. They don't do anything. Harassment is nothing. It's all subjective. It's all, a matter of your opinion versus what's really said, because I was threatened and there was nothing that they could do. So I know that. But he was breaking the restraining order. They could have put him in jail. They could have arrested him. Now, the neighbor of Derek, who was so concerned, so worried, like really freaking out, and that's how he testified. Why didn't he go to the police? Someone answered that question. If whoever is watching this, whenever you're watching this, let me ask you this. If someone's telling you, I'm going to murder someone, and you're just friends with them, like you're not like, it's your son or whatever. Even if it were your son, you'd be like, okay, something's not right here. But wouldn't you start thinking, I need to do something about this. Someone's going to get killed. Right? Wouldn't you go to the police? I know I would. I don't know about anybody else, but this could have been prevented. Seriously, Donna would not be sitting behind this desk today. She might be for something else, for maybe plotting something. But she had to take matters into her own hand because no one in the world would help her. All right, so I'm gonna go into I talked about why they couldn't ask, why he wasn't arrested, and why this neighbor did not go to the police. And the reason why the defense couldn't ask that question is because the prosecution said, you can't ask that question in pretrial. Okay. So the defense, to me, it feels like the defense, their hands are tied. They have to watch, like, yesterday I was talking about how Donna's lawyer kind of sounds like a bumbling idiot a little bit, like well, because now I get it. He has to watch every little word that he says because he can't say certain things that the prosecution has determined they are not allowed to say. Then, all right, this is where it gets really weird. This is where everything just starts to go, what? All right, so now we call in a key witness too, and she is a fellow inmate at the Kenosha jail. I really, this woman was beyond weird and psychotic. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. They had 2 inmates come in today to testify against Donna. And the first one had 32 counts of criminal charges against her. 32! She hasn't been in and out of jail. She's 42 years old. She's been in and out of jail probably her whole life. And all she does is she snitches on people and goes to the district attorney and turns state evidence against people so she can get out early. Isn't that convenient? But when the defense tried to ask her about it, the prosecution shut them down. But yet she has a history of turning people in so that she gets lesser charges. It's a fact. But the defense couldn't bring it up. And once they did, they were shut down. But we got enough information to know that it happened. And that girl is turning in evidence for a journal. Now, this whole thing it's going to make your head explode. I swear to you, your head is just going to blow up. Like, it has nothing to do with the murder trial whatsoever. And I really feel like the state is grasping for straws because their reasoning for some of their witnesses are just downright stupid. Okay, so this first one, the one that with the 32 counts, I won't bring up her name. Um, she snitched on Donna for a tattoo that Donna had. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Donna. I love Donna, but this was the stupidest thing Donna could have done. It really was. And that's my opinion, and I'm going to stick by it but I know where Donna's head was. I know what she was thinking. I know why she did it, but she talked to the wrong people. Donna's a very personable person and just a social butterfly, and she befriends everybody. She's such a good-hearted woman, and she was trying to make friends within the jail. And she thought this girl was her friend and shared this tattoo with her. Donna got a tattoo. Man, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm so like mind blown by Donna. And I love Donna. But I have to say this was probably the stupidest thing Donna could have ever done. She could have done it without telling anybody about it. It would have been different. So Donna got a tattoo of a sea turtle because she loves sea turtles. And she got in the tattoo of the sea turtle, and she had it here on her chest. She had a peace sign, a heart, and a smiley face, and a 4 with the TH after it, which was symbolic of what this witness said of Guyan's death, that she felt free and at peace and happy that he was finally out of her life. It didn't look good, excuse me. It didn't look good for her. This tattoo really was a bad choice for Donna. That's really all I can say. It was a really bad decision on Donna, not only to get the tattoo, so obvious, but then to talk about it and brag about it to some of the girls, specifically this girl who was a well-known snitch, but Donna didn't know that. Um, so the real controversy, though, was about this girl and a journal. It was called a baby book, and the book was designed for this women in a group to be able to build a journal for their families, for their children. Okay, so they could stay connected with their children. Now, I learned later on, okay, I'll tell you in a minute. So this book is a big controversy. It has nothing to do with the murder trial whatsoever. I don't even get why it was brought up, but it was a big deal. They spent like 2 hours on this thing. The book was, she asked another girl who then came in, the other inmate, about a journal that Donna was asking this other girl is going to be released. So she thought she was going to be released, and Donna asked this girl, hey, can you take this journal and give it to my daughter? And that's how it went down. And it was just a journal for her daughter with pictures of them together and saying how much she loved them, and to remember, just remember what this guy did to us. Don't ever forget that. I don't know how that's evidence against her. But the only thing she did wrong was she tried to get this journal out without the right channel, which was you give it to the your warden or whatever, and they actually go through everything page by page and scan through it and all this stuff, and then it gets sent out. So it does get scanned, it does get looked at, and so Donna didn't do that. And the book never made it out because the chick who was supposed to do it, she thought she was getting off and going home, and she didn't. And she never went to go pick up her stuff, apparently, but she's back in jail anyway. She did get off, but then she went back to jail like the next day or something, like just crazy stuff. So she has 3 counts against her, this other girl, the other inmate that testified against her. But the first one was a true snitch. She was really excited about being able to turn in Donna, especially in a high profile case, apparently, from what the understanding was in the jail, that she was kind of bragging about she was going to be involved in this highfalutin celebrity, thing. And I feel like I'm in the movie Chicago. Like we're talking about the journal. Remember when Roxy, had her journal and it was exposed in the court? And, I swear to God, Donna needs like, what's his name? The flim flam. She needs the flim flam. Anybody watch Chicago? Because that's what I feel like I'm in right now. Bear with, because dry. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap this up. So the credibility was then being questioned of the first inmate who has 32 counts against her of I don't know what it was, because we were never allowed to find out why she was in jail, what she was in jail for. When they asked her how many counts that she had against her, that we did find out, but then it was shut down. Like, objection. Too late. We already know. 32. That's a lot. Have you turned state evidence? Yes. Oh, objection. So, okay. So it's all about this journal, and the investigator, the detective of the murder, um, found this journal and took pictures of an envelope addressed to her daughter with, mind you, the address, the return address of the Kenosha County Detention Center. Okay. And there's a letter in there. Just, I love you, I miss you. It was a card. It was a card. I don't get it. What's so controversial about a card? And then they took a photo of this letter that she sent to her daughter saying, remember what he did to us. Don't ever forget that. And don't forget the good times that we've had in our lives. And just don't forget what he's done to you and what he's done to me. What is wrong with that? But apparently it can look bad. But I don't see it and I don't get it. And that's what these 2 inmates were brought in for today. I don't understand. So their witnesses weren't very reliable. They're inmates. They're trying to get off. You know what I'm saying? So they're cooperating with the state, and they're not doing a very good job at it, mind you, because they're inmates and they're not really, good people. Because the first one started freaking out on Stan, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, she started getting weird, and at one point, the prosecutor had to talk to one of the big bouncer dudes and said, go back. So I did see that. So that was a weird thing. Okay. So, and the questions are stupid. I seriously, like the second, like the first inmate. How is Donna Matthews, who's paying for Donna Matthews' legal team? A friend? What does that have to do with anything? See, and this is where I feel there's so many gaps and holes, and all I can do is pray that the jury sees this and ask the question, what does that have to do with anything? I really hope, because I see them taking tons and tons of notes. So I hope that they're going, I don't get this. I don't understand. What is this about? Why didn't they ask this question? I really do. And I hope they come back and they say, we need this question asked. We need this question asked. We want to know why this wasn't answered. That's all I can do is pray for that. But they're questioning their witnesses. They're stupid. The journal had nothing to do with the murder trial. Who's paying for her defense has nothing to do with her murder trial. So what? It's her friends. Her friends are coming together and paying because Donna doesn't have the money for it. What's wrong with that? I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. Then there's no rebuttals going on by the defense. But as I said, their hands are tied. They can't ask certain questions. So they struggle really, really hard to try to re examine or cross examine the witnesses for the state. And you can see them struggling. And every time they ask a question, objection. And the majority of the time, the judge is siding with the prosecution. Oh, okay. One question that was asked by one of her friends that Donna worked with at a restaurant bar down in Illinois. They called her in, and I think she was subpoenaed. And I don't think she wanted to turn in evidence against Donna because anyone who knows Donna knows what a good person she is and how wonderful she is. So I think this was a tough situation for this girl, and I felt so bad for her because she was trying really hard not to say anything that would put Donna in jeopardy. So she was very matter of fact, yes, no, I don't know, I don't recall. And the prosecution was getting snarky with her. Like, they were starting to get ticked that she wasn't answering the questions how they wanted her to answer, and was getting really, really mad about it. And at one point, they actually asked her this question. Does it not seem to you that Donna relishes in the drama? Okay, so we can't talk about people's opinions from the defense. We can't say how did you feel? Objection. But yet we can ask a woman, doesn't Donna relish in the drama? How do you know? No. Ugh. So that was really frustrating. Luckily, the defense did object to that, and that was stricken. Thank you. She tried to reword it, and it still came out bad. And the defense fortunately did it again, and fortunately was rejected. Okay, so okay. All right. So here comes the end. I'm at the end now because something really crazy happened in the courtroom. As her friend that from work was leaving, another friend from that job came in, and as he was giving testimony, the prosecution was just getting ready for the first time to show some multimedia extravaganza to really burn Donna. And just as they plugged it in and handed over the DVD to be put in, the lights went blackout completely. Everything shut down. All the electricity shut down in the courtroom. That was that. And the prosecutor, this chick, I'm sorry, I'm gonna name them, not their real names, but what I think their names should be, Miss Piggy and Miss Twiggy. That's what I'm naming them in my head. That's how I'm calling them at home too, because there's no other way to describe them. It is Miss Piggy and Miss Twiggy, and they are the snottiest little people I've ever seen. Like I just, you just know, like I don't like that person. There's something about these two that's just not nice. And they're all snarky and rude. Whenever the defense tries to say I need to talk to you, Judge. They call a sidebar. And the one, she thinks she's getting away with it, right? But she looks at us, and we're all supporters of Donna, right? So she looks at us out in the gallery and she goes, yeah, because I'm on your side, lady. No. Yeah. Okay. So she said, as everything went out, just when I was getting ready to show something on the DVD. And I said, apparently it wasn't meant to be. God said no. And that's pretty much how that ended, because they had called We Energies and We Energies said it was going to be like 90 minutes. So they just ended that at 3:30. So that is the day with Donna's trial today. I'm discouraged by the justice system. She's not getting a fair trial, I believe. That's my feelings. That's my opinion. I have a right to it. But from what I'm seeing and what I've heard about the pretrial, they have pretty much tied the defense's hands behind their back, and you can really see them struggling to try to ask the questions that will help Donna. Nothing can be brought up about the boyfriend's character. Nothing. Nothing can be brought up about Guyan's character. Nothing can be brought up about his family, his ex-girlfriends, who all knew what kind of guy this was. And that's the problem. If we don't get to know who this guy was, no one is ever going to know why Donna did what she did. No one's going to know the truth about this guy. And if we can't get the answers from the police, who really dropped the ball on this, then I don't think this is a fair trial. I think this is this is done. This is not fair. She's not getting a fair trial. The police didn't do their job. Why is it now on Donna? She had to take matters into her own hand because the cops just wouldn't do anything about it and told her, oh, just ignore it. How do you ignore someone harassing you and stalking you and following you all around the country? How do you do that? You can't. And if the police don't help you, what do you do? What do you do? For anyone who's been in an abusive relationship, if you are watching this and you've been in an extensively abusive relationship like I have, you're at the brink. I remember when my ex-husband was abusive and tried to kill me several times. Donna is, like I said, Donna was the one who was there for me. But I can tell you my frame of mind. And my frame of mind was, if this asshole doesn't stop, I'm going to snap. I'm going to blow his brains out. Now, I didn't have a gun, but I'll tell you what, if I had a gun, oh, he wouldn't even be here today, because that was where my head was at. When somebody plays with you mentally, you start feeling crazy. And so they're trying to do this whole thing like, what was her state of mind? What was she thinking? Trying to make it sound like she plotted this. And maybe so. But she felt she had no other way, because it was her life. As Derek said, it was either her life or his. And that's how they saw it. Donna's an amazing person. I highly recommend that if you don't know Donna Matthews and you're just watching this just to kind of, I don't know, learn about a murder trial. And if you don't know Donna, I highly suggest you Google her. She has done amazing, wonderful things all around the world. The world. I'm not just talking about around the country. The friendships and the women that she has helped, not just through my friendship and little friendships that she has here and there, but the friendships that she built in India. She went to India and helped the poor women there and like loved them, gave them so much love. And there's a story on the internet about her, if they still have it up, where she went to these countries and was trying to empower women in poverty. Okay, this is that show Snapped. Anybody remember that show where the normal, everyday, average, normal housewife just snaps one day because she can't take the abuse anymore? Do you remember that? Because that's what I thought of, that moment in my head when I said, if somebody doesn't get me out of this situation, out of this house right now. I had to call my mother that night. I'll never forget. I was freaking out on my bedroom floor, 2 houses down from here, living across the street from Donna. And I remember calling my mom, crying and saying, I need help because I'm going to kill him if he doesn't stop this. I'm going to kill him. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've been in an abusive relationship before. And some of you say, I have. But have you been threatened? Have you been stalked? Have you been blackmailed? Has your family's life been threatened? I don't know. And what do you do when you go to all the right places and try to do the right thing and try to follow the law and the law doesn't help you? I don't know. Well, that's where I'm going to end today. And tomorrow I'm going to be going back. Hopefully the electricity will be up and everything. But I just want to thank, I think I got 4 of you watching, and whoever else is going to watch later, God bless you. Please, it's hard for me to say this because I know a lot of us don't believe in murder, and that's right. We shouldn't. But I want you to pray for Donna if you can. If you find it in your heart to do so, please pray for her. But what I need more than anything is people to pray for this jury, to start asking these questions that are being unanswered, that will help them determine a better decision for her rather than what the prosecution wants them to decide. So with that, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Some of you stuck through the whole time. God bless you. Thank you so much. And okay, I'm going to sign off. Thank you. Bye. Bye.